What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Linares.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. Wow, this has been over a month since we've actually done this. I was looking, I was like, it maybe a few weeks, but then I was like, oh, you had your no label right before my cruise, so this is we're gonna have to figure everything back out. I feel like we're just getting locked in, and
I know. This
yeah,
is going to be like a random, super random comparison, but I remember being in like high school, and we learned something about your brain and the way it works in psychology class. And they were talking about, oh, like if you take a break from something and then you come back to it, like your brain, like, like when you sleep, sometimes your brain's working overtime, like you're thinking of things, even if you're not doing it or whatever. And I just remember being like, oh yeah, like it clicked because I remember being like a kid and playing Angry Birds and there was this level I couldn't beat. And then I stepped away from it from like a couple months probably. And then I came back to it, beat it first try. And I was like, maybe that's how this podcasting thing's going. We were getting into the swing of things, but hey, maybe a month off is good for us. We're going to be back better than ever. So that's what I'm feeling.
yeah, and I mean there was some major technical difficulties going on within
There
this
were
episode here. We're recording that we were supposed to start at 4. Your Wi-Fi was out. I got dinner at 5:30. So like this was
cutting it close.
yeah. So we're gonna put on a clutch time performance though.
Yeah. Quickly before we get into everything, I want to go back to my top 10 concerts episode. That was 2 episodes ago now. I said Chance the Rapper at Magnificent Coloring Day was going to be my Chance the Rapper representation. After like really thinking about it, I can't have that. I gotta make an amendment here. It would be Chance the Rapper. I saw him at Lollapalooza. I waited there for like 5 hours, probably at his stage at least, with my boy AJ. Shout out to AJ, a real one, always holding it down. So I thought about that, and I was going through the videos, getting ready for the Instagram post, and I was like, "No, that was so much better." I was like in the first couple rows, it was way better than being in the stands at the baseball stadium. Like it was very cool. It's the first time I saw Chance, so that felt right, like in that moment. But then going through the videos, so many memories came back, so many just thoughts came back, and it kind of just changed the way I was feeling. And yeah, I'm amending that
Yeah,
placement. But other than that, I'm sticking with my list, I think.
those performances were they're very close to each other as well. So I mean, it's
True.
yeah, it's
But yeah,
it's an okay mistake. I'm here for you, man.
appreciate you. I just had to put that out there because I thought about it. I was like, I can't live with that being my official take. I gotta amend that. All right, let's get into some more updates here. If you've been following us on Instagram, you know we had a Utopia vinyl giveaway. I gotta be honest, like Elijah said, it's been, a month since we recorded. In the episodes that just came out last week, we had said, hey, Utopia vinyl giveaway going to be on our Instagram, whatever. It didn't come out on time. So apologies if you only listen. But hey, that's kind of on you. You got to follow us on Instagram so you're part of these giveaways. But we gave the Utopia vinyl away. Shout out to the boy AG, Hoops and Rap, running the game right now. Just got that Montana 300 feature, so that's big for him. Gonna give him that vinyl tonight. So stay tuned on Instagram. You'll see a picture of that. And then just stay tuned as well because, we got more Instagram giveaways coming. So you don't want to miss those. If we do happen to take an extended hiatus again, that is unintentional.
Yeah,
Hopefully not. It won't
hopefully
happen, I
nothing
don't
ever like
think.
this
But
again.
but
Yeah.
if it happens, it happens. So stay tuned on Instagram for the updates. Yeah, let's get into fantasy football. We used to give all our fantasy football updates every week, our thoughts, how things were going. We haven't recorded since we've drafted, since we talked about it, really. So we got to get back into it here. How is fantasy football going for you? What kind of players are you rocking with your teams this year? How many teams you got? Let us know.
So I'm in the same two leagues as last year. One's a little bit more of a higher buy-in, so more payout, obviously. And I got one with like a lot of people, I went to high school with, stuff like that. So, but I mean, so for my league, Anthony Richardson QB for both my teams. He's looking
Mm,
good, so that's been my guy so far. Others, I mean, Mike Evans has been insane. On one team, and then yeah, on the other team I have Bijan as well. Oh, I'm Bijan and Mike
like
Evans on the
Bijan.
same team. So, but yeah, I mean, you'll obviously start to hear more players throughout the whole thing. I'm not going to list my whole roster now. I'll just have you guys stay tuned for that. Essentially, I'm 1-0 in both leagues, highest scoring team in my division in one, and in the whole league in the other. So, and I have
Flex.
on pace for 158 in the league we're in together. So, yeah.
Okay. Baseball has not been so good to me this year. I'm in 3 leagues, 2 of them with high school friends mostly, and then the league with you and mostly your high school friends. so, uh, so far I am 1-0, 0-1, and 0-1. So total 1-2. Not doing so hot. I am feeling decent about my teams though. I went Christian McCaffrey in a league. I went Travis Kelsey in a league, and I don't remember who my other first round pick was. Maybe I went 2 McCaffreys actually. Yeah, so big on him. He's doing pretty good, so can't complain with that yet. The only other person that I went big on was Alexander Madison off
He's a
the
bum.
Vikings.
My Eagles had him. Yeah, my Eagles are 2-0, by
They
the
had
way. If
him
you're
at
watching
hell.
this, yeah. Yeah, I've never been like super huge on him. Obviously, he's just not Dalvin Cook, and I think they love to pass a lot's another thing. So
Well,
um
I rock with him. I have him in every single one of my leagues. So let's hope he does really good. I did not know who he was before I drafted for the first time, but something about his little bio, I said, I need him on
he
every
looks like
team.
Dalvin Cook too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Vibe check is crazy. So we're
um
rocking with him. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know. Things are okay. Fantasy baseball, on the other hand, currently made the playoffs. My first time ever playing it. Did not really watch baseball since I was 12 and I'm back into it. I was playing this show. I'm all in on fantasy baseball and I'm currently winning in the playoffs, first round of playoffs. So fingers crossed I'm going to advance there. Um, but yeah, if you came to this video, I think you want to hear more about football.
yeah,
You see the title today. We're
yeah.
talking football, NFL references, and rap songs. We had an episode a while back with NBA, so 2 episodes, I think, actually. So if you're an NBA fan, you're gonna want to check those out. But I'm excited to get into football. You definitely are more of a football guy. I do fantasy. I pay attention a little bit. I know players, but some of these lines, like I was like, okay, I got to look into what they meant here.
Mhm.
But generally, I think there's some good ones out here. How are you feeling about these rap references?
I like mine. It's I feel like it's not as deep as the NBA, but
It's not.
but it's still I have a lot of ones that are like I feel like are personal ones for me. So I mean, let's just get into it. Um, for in no order or anything here, of course. This is I feel like this is a dead giveaway. I love this lyric. I don't know if it's on your list, but we got Sandbox swimming like a Michael Vick, Choppa ate a fella up Kyle Pitts by Dr. Dot on Ghetto Gods freestyle. That's just one.
Fire.
Even like Kyle Pitts was at his like worst whenever I was bumping that song like crazy. Like the dude was putting out 4 fucking fantasy points a week. And yeah, this is still one I just love.
I went back in on Kyle Pitts in a league this year. I maybe that's going to be a terrible decision, but he's going to have that one year where he just breaks out, and I want to be a part of it. So we're rocking with Kyle Pitts this year. I don't have that one on my list actually, so
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to get into a couple others. But yeah, that's one that I do love that line. So I figured you'd bring it up. There were a couple that I didn't put on here because like, okay, he's gonna
Yeah.
talk about those. So I left him. I tried to find a couple deep cuts. Starting off, I found one of the deepest cuts you could imagine. And it's not even going to be one of mine. I'm going to give you a line. I want you to just guess who said this. Okay. I roll all the good shit. You roll in on that Reggie Bush. And, that line, it's not super specific, but I'm going to tell you it's not a rapper. It's a pop star.
uh, like give me an era here. Like, is this current
Like
day?
uh late 2000s to 2010s.
Man, I don't know, like Justin Timberlake or something. I don't know. That's too far back even there.
Lady Gaga. When I
Uh,
saw that, I was like, "What?" I was looking through all these references, and I just see the Reggie Bush list, and I was like, "Okay, let's see, who we got, whatever." Lady Gaga, not the first person I expected to see there for sure. So that was very random. Had to give that one a mention because shout out to
yeah,
Lady Gaga. I guess I didn't know
Danville
she was
legend.
rocking with Reggie Bush. So I guess it's
Yeah,
kind of anti Reggie Bush, but
yeah.
she rocking with weed more than anything, I guess. So let's get into my first one here. This is a super random one. This one just was one of the first came to my head. I had to go with it. She was sucking my dick right on her knees. Her mama busted in. She says, "Girl, what has happened?" And She said, "Baby, you know your dad a Panther." She said, "Mama, I'm just doing the Kaepernick." Lil Uzi Vert on
Yeesh.
Free Uzi. I love
Yeah.
that line. It's so funny. Free Uzi, underrated song. I remember when it first dropped, people were like, "Oh, this is trash," because the voice is a little bit different,
Mhm.
the effect on it. I love Free Uzi. I couldn't tell you the last time I listened to it, but I enjoy it every time I hear it.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, it's just such a crazy bar there. I feel like QBs are going to be just, I mean, very throughout here.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on though, this is like one at the time. Meek Mill had just got out of prison when the Eagles, when this is 2018. He's got I think his album's Champions. He's got the red or green, black, and white for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's just right away. He says Philly, champions of the United States. I just had to relive the glory days there.
Mm,
Whenever the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So I had to bring this one up. This one always just, I mean, reminds me of those times. So
okay. Uh, when we started talking, oh, we're gonna do NFL rap
uh,
references. This is the first one that came to my head, and so I was like, I gotta go with it. Although we gotta talk about it. It has aged not well. Like we got Vic Men's on "You Mad," where he says, "But if she bad, I might hit a bitch in the elevator like Ray Rice." I mean, we're not rocking with domestic abuse by any means, but it's a great bar. And Vic isn't talking about domestic abuse. He's talking about a little something else. So I think it gets the pass, right?
yeah, this is gonna make it to the recording. You guys are gonna hear this, so well, I guess we'll let you guys decide. So, if you think Johnny should be canceled, go blow up
Yeah.
his socials.
Cancel Vic Mensa, bro, not me.
Okay, so moving on here, we got Pusha T on infrared. We got Ferrari, my 40th, blew the candles out. Tom Brady, you fellas had to scramble out. That's just
Mm.
it's just like so tough in the song, it fits the whole tone and everything. But Tom Brady's not a scrambling QB. I don't think I've watched Tom Brady scramble out more than 10 times in my life. I try and watch football, quite a bit. So I just felt like there was a lot more opportunity there. Maybe throw well, it's 2018. Who was popping in 2018? Carson Wentz, he
Oh,
get out the
oh
pocket a
yeah,
little bit. He
Carson
get out the
Wentz.
pocket a little bit more than Tom Brady. Kyler Murray, that was his rookie year. That would have been another good one there. So
It's true.
he had some better options for sure. Lamar Jackson, even.
Valid. That'd have been a good one. I'm gonna give a shout out to somebody right now that I think they really are one of the best with NFL references. And I think it goes to his football background. We got JID, and he has two that I want to talk about quickly. One, I'm going to not count as like one of my ones I'm really trying to highlight, and that is RIP, I miss my dogs, like Mike Vick. I mean, that's a
Yep.
great line. It's good, but I think there are two things that are like super easy references, and it's something about dogs and Mike Vick, and then it's something about like shots in the club, like Plaxico Burris. I think those are two things that are like it's almost too easy.
It's
Like
like
I've heard it
Curry.
enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like Curry. It's like Kobe. I've heard it enough. So I'm gonna go to a different JID one, and that is on Never when he says "run game." Bitches think I'm Todd Gurley or something, which is just like
Fire.
it's just enough. Like he doesn't do too much. It's not like a super crazy intricate line, but just shout out to Todd Gurley because he was really running the game back 2016, whatever it was.
Yeah, and I mean, and he ended up finishing his career in Atlanta. So I mean, it's literally perfect. They're poetic, JID
True.
rapping about Todd Gurley. Man, he was a beast. His body just he just gave out on him, honestly, like his knees. But Todd Gurley, that was Christian McCaffrey before Christian McCaffrey.
Mm. Yeah, I really don't remember too much about Todd Gurley. I remember he had that play back when he was in St. Louis
College.
where he hurdled some guy. He probably did it multiple times,
He's
but there's
always, yeah,
one.
he's always.
Yeah, but there's one specifically I could think of. But yeah, I just didn't really hear too much about him after that, and that was right when I was getting into fantasy football. So he was one of those top guys for a couple years, and then
He was like,
kind of
just like top
ended.
pick him and Le'Veon Bell at the time, just literally just
Yeah,
you knew who was going 1-2. So
yeah. AB. Don't forget about AB.
that shit on that almost
Yeah,
made it in here.
can't forget. What's your next reference here?
All right, I want you to see if you can narrow down the song here. We have a song off the Big Day. We got a song off the Big Day.
Mm.
I'm sure you would have never guessed this, or a song off it
Wow.
at least. And
Does
I'll
Chance say it?
he does, yeah. It's a Chance lyric
Wow.
with personal ties to me,
To you.
to
Wow.
me, to
Is
me
it
and my
any
fandom.
So an Eagles player. Does
Yeah.
it sound about Donovan McNabb,
No. Not in
Jeremy
this.
Macklin?
No, you're getting closer though.
Ooh, Deshaun Jackson.
Yes. So
Ooh, let's go.
we haven't. We Go High. This is my only song saved on the big day for this reason. I just want Deshaun back like an Eagles fan. Man, that one at the time hit so hard. Deshaun Jackson's like just Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick, and LaShawn McCoy are like the reasons why I started being an Eagles fan. And when he left the wrong way, that kind of hurt. But he ended up coming back after this. So, but yeah, this one is just like always hit for me, of course. So
I love it. I do have to say, as not good as the big day is, there are a couple really good like one-liners that he has throughout the album. Like, when he said, "I made the three more famous than Steph." When I heard that first time, I was like, "Oh, that's a bar." But then there's just some really bad songs, so tough. But yeah, we got one-liners like that to go back that we can enjoy. My next one I got here, and this is gonna be bad on me. I don't know who says it. I'm not the biggest Wu-Tang guy, but it's on Wu-Tang Clan. Ain't nothing to fuck with. Somebody says, I slam tracks like quarterback sacks from LT. And that's a bar. I was just looking through, good references and I saw that one. I don't know who said it, but that's such a bar.
that is, I mean, and that's like I feel like sports bars they've had to have progressed. You weren't hearing like too many crazy sports bars back in the day. So it's just cool to see it. But yeah, like now I feel like you can't go without, like a major album or just a major album without a few songs that at least have a few, references in there. So
Yeah, I was thinking though, we talked about earlier, there's not as many references to NBA. I think NFL might be like third. I think I would go NBA, and then I think I'd go MLB even, and then
I
I'd go NFL.
the tracks I'm listening to, I feel like off the top of my head, I don't get a lot of MLB references. So
I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know Action Bronson has like a bunch random, and I do listen to some Action Bronson, so maybe that's why it's just like that's
yeah.
who I'm thinking of. But I do think we get some baseball. I don't hear as many football though, too. It was like tough to think of these. Like I had to look at them. I thought of a couple off the top of my head, but like I really had to look for some. So I don't know, like NBA, I could rattle off NBA for forever. But yeah, these other two, I think they're lacking. So I think we need some more rappers that are just diehard NFL and MLB fans.
Yeah, we need like the black and yellow versus the what was it, green and yellow at the
Green
time.
and
Like
yellow. Yeah.
those went so crazy at the time back in what was that, 2011. So
That's what I would say. Yeah.
we need some more artists repping their set or their NFL teams. So
Yeah.
for my last one here, just talking about NFL teams, this is even an NFL lyric. This is just my favorite football lyric of all time. We got Matt Champion on What's the Occasion. I feel like Booby Miles under these Friday lights.
Ooh.
Just it's my favorite movie. It's in a rap song I listen to often. So I just had to show I love.
I like that. Didn't think of it, but I respect that. I know you love that one. So that was good. You were just talking about black and yellow versus green and yellow. I'm gonna get into the green and yellow, not the song, the team though. We got the Packers. I started off starving. Now they got me out here, Brett Favre, trying to see if I still got it. Ooh, that's a bar. Andre 3000 on The Art of Storytelling, Part 4. Bar.
Yeah, that's like perfect for him at that point. They're both kind of not him on the way out as much as Favre, I guess. But yeah, just well said. And Brett Favre, that's just like one I wouldn't associate with rap at the time, especially or even now. So just not a very good guy there. So
yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I like the verse a lot. I like the bar a lot. Brett Favre, he's somebody that like I remember being like a kid and seeing the Brett Favre jersey, and I was like, I have no idea how to say this name. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know anything about Brett Favre. Yeah, Favre. I was like, who is this guy? Yeah, that was definitely before I knew much about football, but I was gonna say shout out to Brett Favre. We're not saying that.
Yeah, we're not gonna shout it. We won't be doing that. So you've had some bad people. I would have
some
been okay with
offenses.
Yeah, would have been okay with that one or two of those, but
yeah,
it's all right. It's all love.
Hey, we're back. We any press is good press. We got to get people talking. So that's what we're on
Yeah,
this week.
this is a fucking publicity stunt here. We're just trying to bring in the
This
most
is, trust me, I
obscure.
don't rock with these people. I don't condone anything they did, but you're gonna be talking about this, so that's what we need. Uh, I actually have one more reference I want to get into. Right, I think it's only right. It's a very simple reference, but it's gonna tie into something here. We got Drake, the contract like 91 Dan Marino, off
Sheesh.
Pound Cake, Paris Smart Music too. I mean, Dan Marino was getting paid back in his day. Drake been getting paid. So that's a bar. But it's fitting because we're introducing album of the month. I don't know if it actually ever made it into an episode, the idea, because I think it was going to be in one of the ones
That we didn't.
that we didn't end up using or that got released late. So I'm not sure. It might have, it might not have. So if this is a repeat, apologies. But we're introducing album of the month. We want to do one episode a month where we just talk about an album that is either new or celebrating an anniversary or just a random one we want to talk about. And the first one we're doing, Nothing Was the Same by Drake. So I had to give this little reference some love just because it's timely. Because next week is Nothing Was the Same. Our thoughts. We want to get you guys on the episode though. So if you're interested in joining, talking about your favorite song, your memories with the album, anything like that, we want to get you on. We want to get anybody who wants to be on a chance. So stay tuned to the Instagram. There's actually a post dropping today. So yesterday when you're watching this,
Yeah.
announcing the album of the month. But expect these moving forward. So even if you're not rocking with them, Nothing Was the Same. We're gonna have some more coming, one coming next month. If there's an album you want to be album of the month, let us know. We'll see if we can, make it work if we're fans of it like that. So yeah, it's gonna be
Just
cool.
just want to spoil it a little bit. The first what would it be? Almost 12 months. Yeah, it'll be 12 months by that time, possibly 13. They're all Drake albums, so just stay tuned.
For all the dogs next month. Don't worry. No, no, we'll see. We'll see. We gotta get some bangers in there. Some albums we haven't talked about, some classics. I'm excited. Hopefully get some albums you guys love too. So stay tuned for that. The way we'll do it, I guess, just get you guys in a little Zoom call and then you guys can talk to us about what you're
Whatever you
feeling.
want. I mean,
Yeah, and then we'll cut it in however it makes sense to the episode. But yeah, hopefully that turns out well, but that's coming next week. So be on the lookout for that on Instagram and we'll coordinate details and stuff middle and late this week. So it has been a month and there's definitely a lot of releases to talk about. I'm very excited to get into this. We've been talking all year about how, it's not that good. But then when you look at like, okay, a month, you're like, all right, this is pretty solid. So I'm just going to run through some of the names that have dropped, either projects or singles, and then we can talk about some of them. Let's start off here. We got Jordan Ward with the Deluxe, Nick Jenkins, Gene Dawson, Quavo, Earl Sweatshirt The Alchemist, Chase Shakur, Ben Riley, Rock Marciano on The Alchemist with the Deluxe, Tizo Touchdown, Midwest, Lil Peep and I Love McConan, Real Boston Richie, Nas, Diddy, Killer Mike with the Deluxe, Vic Menza, Olivia Rodrigo, Sampha with a single, Drake with the single, with SZA, and then Denzel Curry and Kenny Mason. There's a couple. There's definitely a lot more that we didn't mention there. We could have been rattling off for 3 more minutes talking about some of these releases. It's been a month. So what have you been listening to of these? How are you feeling about them?
Tizo Touchdown, showing some love to that. I mean, I feel like the masses are moved by this album. So
I don't know.
I've been seeing some
hate.
I've seen nothing but positives.
I've seen a lot of hate actually.
Oh, well, I mean, the industry is co-sign. I've seen like nothing but good things. So maybe I'm just on the good side of Twitter right now.
You're on the right side. Yeah, I'm with you. But there's definitely some hate. They're like, he's so mid, he can't sing. His lyrics are bad. I disagree.
I've seen like one little thing, but that's literally like all I can think of. And I feel like not every day, but I feel like I see, something about this album once or twice a week. So, but I'm enjoying it. Are you enjoying it as well? Would you say okay?
Oh yeah.
All right, then that's all that matters, what we enjoy. So and then Olivia Rodrigo, she is her. Like she did it again. I don't think it's not quite as good as Sour to Me. Yeah, it still could grow, but man, she is a star. So that's another one that's just been in constant rotation.
I agree. I was talking to my sister about this. I think Sour has more hits, and obviously they've had like more time to become hits, but they
Uh-huh.
have more songs that feel like hits. Like I think Guts has really good songs, some better songs even than some of the lesser songs on Sour, obviously. But like I think there was just like hits on Sour.
Yeah, like
But I
just
really like Guts. Bad Idea Right's a good song. Obviously, we've been rocking with Vampire. Get Him Back, pretty good. Lacey, pretty good. There's a lot of good songs. I'm with it, but I haven't listened to it too much, but I listened to it a couple times, like one or two times right when it first dropped.
yeah, I mean, my prediction now, as long as everything stands the way it is, we're gonna be talking about this album in December on my list. So,
Whoa, okay. I'm
some
not mad at
crazy,
that.
yeah, some crazy stuff being thrown around. So this is big
Yeah,
here. We'll see how it ages.
I'm not mad at that. We'll see though. I gotta give a shout out here, Mick Jenkins. Mick Jenkins really did his thing on this album. Like, it's shorter. I think it's only like 28 minutes or something like that. So give it a listen. I would say it's a quick listen. If you don't like it, it'll be over pretty quick. But you got features from Bang the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs, a bunch of people. So it's a good project for sure. The beats are always good. And Mick is just elite with the pen. He does his thing. I listened to this for the first time on my flight to Boston, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is fire." So yeah, shout out to Mick Jenkins. And the other person I gotta give a shout out here, Jordan Ward with the Deluxe. I randomly saw Jordan Ward on my flight on the way back from
Yeah,
Boston. I had a connecting flight. It was connecting in Indianapolis, which is like so close to Hoops, and you're like, I just want to be home. But I had to go from Indianapolis to Chicago, and I'm boarding my flight. I'm walking on. I'm just listening to my music. On the way there, I was like, am I going to be like a headphones in the airport kind of guy? Like, I was like,
I
no,
am.
like,
Yeah,
I was
I
like, I don't know. I was debating. I was like, I think that's like kind of, it's not who I am. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that, whatever. Then on the way back, I was like, headphones on the whole time. In the connecting flight, I got off with the headphones on,
a
got
flight
back on
attendant
with
had
the
to
headphones
tap him.
on. Yeah, she's like, go. Nah, it was whatever. But I'm literally boarding the flight, headphones on, and I just shuffled one of my playlists, and it's just running through. And I'm listening to Fam Jam 4000 by Jordan Ward, one of my favorite songs of the year. And I'm just walking down the aisle of the plane, and I look at this guy, and I'm like, is that Jordan Ward? I was like, what is he doing in Indianapolis, going from Indianapolis to Chicago? I was like, no way, right? And then I just keep thinking, I'm like, okay, that's definitely him. Like, it looks so much like him. It has to be. And I looked at his Instagram story, and he had a show in Indianapolis the night before. So I was like, okay, it's Jordan Ward for sure. And I was just like, wow, this is wild. So then when we got off the plane, I kind of just like followed him for a second. Then he stopped. I was like, hey, are you Jordan Ward? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I was literally listening to your music like when I walked past. He was like, "That's crazy." We talked for a quick minute. And I was like, "I got a picture." He's like, "Yeah." So shout out Jordan Ward, cool guy. Forward. That's gonna be one of my albums of the year. So you gave a little plug to Olivia. I'm gonna give mine to Jordan Ward.
That's so fire. I love like you kind of have like a realization. You got a second think it before you walk up to somebody like are you
Yeah, especially
so
like him. Like if I see Drake, I'm like Drake.
yeah.
But Jordan Ward, I'm like, I think it's him. Like I don't watch his interviews. I don't do all that. But like I listen to his music. I've seen the cover plenty of times. I'm like, okay, I think so.
Yeah, like if Dirk was still smaller and I saw Perkio, like I would think that, yeah, like there's just ones like that where there's people that do look insanely alike. So um
Yeah.
I'm glad that happened though. I mean that's
Yeah,
huge.
that's cool.
This is
Yeah,
this
that's
may be
fire.
is this the first top 10 winner you've met, or top 10 potentially, I guess we'll say.
I don't know. For the year, I would say for sure. I don't think I've met. I don't want to give spoilers. I was say I don't
Yeah.
want to give spoilers, but yeah, I don't think anybody from this year. I mean, obviously, I've met some people from. I gotta look back. I gotta think on last year. Who did I have last year? Did I have Joey
Uh,
Badass? I just met Joey Badass. So do I think?
okay, yeah, there you
I
go.
don't think I had him in my top 10 though last year.
Um, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like maybe the first member that any of us have ever met. So first
It
member
might
of
be.
the top 10 club
It's a big. It's a big club.
so
Hold on.
far, by the way. We're
So far for sure. Um, I met Vince Staples.
okay.
So we'll count that. Nah, yeah, 2022 rap albums of the year only Vince Staples, and then tentatively for 2023 we got Jordan Ward. So we got to run these numbers up for sure.
Yeah, no, it's we're gonna get there. So
For
we're gonna
sure.
have, yeah,
One
we'll have
day,
all
one
these
day.
members. You actually can't be on our top 10 albums list unless we've met you. So
That's
I
valid.
mean,
That's
yeah,
valid. We're gonna have people
rapper,
begging to meet
yeah,
us.
hit our DMs, fly us out, and we'll consider it.
No, that's crazy. That's one of those things. Like, I feel like if you know too many rappers, it would be tough to like make a top 10 list because you'd like feel bad.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know, I
see.
don't know. We'll see
We'll
one
see
day.
when we get there.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
we have that problem one day. Uh, but yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the news. We don't have that much news to talk about. We wanted to kind of do some of the more recent things that have happened. It's been a month, so there's a lot of news that's happened. Let's get into some of these more recent things, though. First off, For All the Dogs delayed till October 6th. This is tough, but it's not that far away, so it's kind of whatever. I was excited for it. I liked the song with Drake and SZA a lot. I thought that was a really good track. So hopefully the project's good as we can hope. You know, we talk about the old Drake. I'm excited to talk about the old Drake next week, and then we might be getting a taste of that in another week. So we'll see with this project how it's going to turn out. But it's going to be interesting because we got news that there's going to be a Yeet and Drake song, which I really don't know how that's going to go.
I think it'll go well. I mean, I don't know. Is Drake gonna be on a rage beat or what's going on here? Is what I'm more curious about.
I think Drake, yeah, he's going to be on a Yeet type beat. You know, he's going to be on that. But, and I think Drake, he's very versatile. He'll figure it out. He'll do what he has to do to sound good on it. But it's just something I wouldn't have expected. You know, it's a
Yeah,
sound I don't go to Drake for. I go to Drake for either, you know, the more like singy type songs or like the pop rap. You know, I know what I want Drake for. So do I want this out of Drake? Time will tell. Let's see.
I mean, yeah, he's done so many different things. I have trust. I believe in him. So I think it'll be a banger. And then huge W for Yeet. Like
Yeah,
you're on a Drake track. Like there, it doesn't get much bigger than that. So
for sure. Next news here, ASAP Rocky and Rihanna's child's name has been announced. It is Riot. I think this is a fire name.
that's so tough with the song. The song releasing like a month before it had
Mm-hmm.
been announced. That's even more fire. So um, I love it. That may be my kid's name.
Yeah, I was to say I don't think I can name my kid Riot, but I think it's definitely,
Like that's
you
like a
know,
celebrity baby
it's
name.
a
Like
celebrity baby name. Like it's a if you're applying for a job and your name's Riot, I think they're looking at you funny when you pull up for that interview. But you know, Riot Myers, I think he's that Brocky's last name. He's not gonna have to worry about job interviews. That boy is straight. He's gonna have 1 million followers on Instagram by the time he's 18. So he's living. He's probably gonna have a clothing line. He's probably gonna be a rap star. He
yeah,
can do whatever he wants. The world is his. Uh, and with a name like Riot, I have no doubts that we're gonna be talking about him on episode 500 of the podcast.
yeah. Let's do it. Let's get him on. I'll get
Yeah,
in contact. I'll get in contact with Rocky and Rihanna.
let's get it. Next news here. We've been talking about him throughout the episode. JID has a new album releasing in the fall titled Forever and a Day. I'm ready. JID, album of the year last year. Can he go back to back? Only time will tell.
The Forever story's been getting a little bit more bump lately too.
I'm glad.
So yeah, I may be in full swing by the time this one comes out. So I'm ready
Let's
for it.
hope. Let's hope so, because that is such a good album. I got to talk about Spotify's new feature, Daylist. If you've been around, I think I mentioned it last winter, but there was a feature on Spotify where it would give you a playlist every couple hours. It would update based on what you listened to that day of the week, that time. And I just happened to find it because I was looking up Spotify Wrapped on Reddit, like a real nerd, trying to find like, oh, you know, what day it was coming out or what day they stopped tracking or something about it. And somebody in the Spotify Reddit was like, hey, there's this new playlist, you know, it's really good. And I was like, oh wow. And so I was on it, and then I listened to it pretty regularly, and then I stopped for a little while, and then I realized one day it was just gone. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And then they officially like launched it as Daylist, which I think is a great name, you know, playlist day. That's nice. Very good for anybody on Spotify. I think it's just great if you don't want to have to think too much about what you're going to play in the car real quick, just shuffle it up. Some of these names of the playlist are crazy though. I got 3 examples that have just randomly been throughout the week. We got right now it's skate, boom bap, Sunday afternoon. You know, I don't know where skating comes in, but boom bap, you know, okay. Uh We got crazy 1600s Saturday afternoon, which this is by far the most wild one. Why is it 1600s? I
Got
don't
Mozart in
know.
there.
It doesn't have Mozart. That's the thing. Like when I clicked on it, it had the three songs on the top: Telekinesis, Peaches and Eggplants by Young Nudie, and Flooded the Face by Uzi. So I don't know where we're getting 1600s from, but it's wild, it's random. And then the last we got Gritty Conductor Thursday afternoon. That was a lot of Conductor, the producer.
Huh.
So I was listening to a lot of Griselda, so that made sense. But yeah, definitely go check this feature out. And then lastly, we got to talk quickly about Lyrical Lemonade 10th anniversary show. Sadly, we're not going to be able to go this year, run it back after the 9th anniversary. But I've been thinking about it. I think they're going to do something with the Lyrical Lemonade album. That's been teased for a while. I think they're going to do some songs off that maybe. And I got a prediction. We're getting a song on that album from Lucky and Brent Faiyaz on the same track. Don't know why. I've been getting that feeling recently. I think something I saw. We'll see. I think that's just me being hopeful though, because those are two of my favorites right now. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, who knows? Something maybe back in the works. There's just a lot of behind the scenes stuff right now going on, so we'll see what happens if we make it there. So,
Ooh, okay.
It's changed. Yeah, Jonathan, it's changed a lot for so we'll see though. But outside of that, I think that about wraps this up. Is there anything else you want to finish with here?
No, just the Drake episode next week. First album of the month. Nothing was the same. Very excited to get into that. Talk about some of our favorite moments, our favorite songs, all that kind of stuff, and hear from you guys. So if you want to be a part of that, please DM us on Instagram. You can either DM our personal accounts or at Second Avenue Pod. Yeah, just let us know. We'll be back next Monday with that. So we'll see you guys next week. Peace.